Welcome to Nightcity, the flight attendant announced over the intercom. Izuku Kendo, known as Battle Fist, sat with a sigh. Her orange hair was tied in a ponytail, and her teal eyes scanned the surroundings. A pro-hero from Japan, she had graduated at the top of her class at U, and faced numerous challenges during her school years, from battling villains to dealing with the chaos of a city in turmoil. Now, she had been called to the Nightcity Police Department, NCPD, to investigate the Yakuza leader Overhaul, who had escaped and was believed to be in the area. As she retrieved her small suitcase from baggage claim, the news blared from a nearby television. Good morning, Nightcity. Today's body count is over, the report continued with details about a party hosted by the 6th Street leader and the ongoing issues with Joy Toys being mistreated. Kendo felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. This was the reality she had to face. Looks like I have a lot of work ahead, she muttered to herself. Just then, she noticed a man holding a sign with her name on it. Are you Miss Kendo? He asked. Yes, she replied, following him to a sleek car. Please hop in, miss, he said, placing her luggage beside her. As he closed the door and walked away, confusion set in. Is he driving me? She wondered aloud. I'm sorry, he is not, a voice responded, startling her. She realized no one was in the driver's seat. The screen in front of her lit up. Hello, Miss Kendo. I am Delamain, your SCRT to NCPD HQ. I will take the fastest route, the voice explained. Is this remote control? She asked. No, I am an automotive vehicle service designed to provide optimal protection during your journey. Please enjoy the beverages listed in your hero file, Delamain continued, presenting her with 3 drink options. Oh thank you, Kendo replied, feeling slightly more at ease. Certainly. Now, let's head out, Delamain said as the car began to drive itself. Kendo looked around the city, noting its beauty contrasted by the danger lurking within. As they approached downtown NC, they passed through a neighborhood called Haywood, a reminder of the training she had received. Suddenly, the sound of gunfire erupted, and she saw people running in panic. Instead of stopping, Delamain continued driving, even colliding with one of the shooters. Kendo shouted, "Hey, stop it," but her voice was drowned out. Delamain replied, "My apologies, but we cannot stop, we'll be late for your meeting." Kendo protested, "But they need help and you just took a life." Delamain maintained a grim demeanor, explaining, "It is procedure to never stop and avoid danger. You are in Nightcity, Miss Kendo, this is a common occurrence here. If you wish to talk about it, I advise you to speak with the NCPD." Kendo sighed, "Just hurry and take me there." Of course, Delamain responded as they continued through the chaotic streets. Soon, they approached a daunting roundabout, a sight that made Kendo uneasy. How many accidents happen in this roundabout? She asked, concerned. Delamain replied, No known record of accidents, about 100% of cases are from shootings. Great, Kendo muttered as they exited onto another freeway leading into downtown. Finally, they arrived at the NCPD department agency, and Delamain opened the door for her. Thank you for riding our Excelsior package, Miss Kendo. You are now registered in our network, so please contact us anytime you need a lift. I will also deliver your belongings to your new residence. Thank you and take care, Delamain, Kendo said as he drove off. She looked up at the towering skyscraper, feeling the weight of the officers' gazes upon her. Approaching one of them, she introduced herself, My name is Izuku Kendo. I'm here for a meeting with Detective Rivers. The officer spoke into a small radio, instructing her, head through the lobby, the attendant will help you. Thank you, Kendo replied as the door opened, revealing a world of cyberware that felt like something out of fiction. 8 years prior, this technology had transformed lives, but it also came with its share of complications. Kendo recalled the name Izumi Yagi, the daughter of the legendary hero All Might, who had played a role in its development. Despite Izumi's kindness, Kendo felt an unsettling sense of distrust that she couldn't shake. I'm here to see Detective Rivers, she stated, activating her optimizer, which confirmed her appointment. Certainly. Please head to the 45th floor, the system instructed as the elevator doors opened. Inside, she enjoyed a breathtaking view of the city, with AVs flying by and Max-tac soldiers patrolling the streets. When the elevator reached her floor, she stepped out and was greeted by a man with a buzz cut and a missing eye. "I'm Detective Rivers," he introduced himself as they shook hands. "Thank you for inviting me," Kendo replied. Rivers gestured for her to follow him, saying, "We need to debrief you on the situation." As they entered the room, Rivers announced, "Kendo is here," and the team welcomed her. "It's good to have you here, Miss Kendo. I am James Teal, the chief of this department, and this is Dr. J. Crowley, our police psychologist," Rivers introduced. Crowley offered a polite "pleasure" as Kendo met the rest of the team. Rivers continued, "Now, we need to debrief you." Teal interjected, "Not yet, we're missing someone." Kendo inquired, "What is it?" Rivers sighed, "Our Max-tac sergeant, Johnny." Kendo remarked, "Well, it's his job to get here on time, right?" Teal explained, "Not exactly, he does things on his own terms." Just then, the door burst open, and Johnny entered, clad in body armor and a gray NCPD hat. Teal quipped, "Look who's on time, am I dreaming?" "Shut up," Johnny retorted as he took a seat, leaning back with his feet on the table. Kendo attempted to ease the tension, saying, Nice to meet you." Rivers cleared his throat, "Right, now on to the debriefing. Lately, we've seen a rise in gang attacks, particularly in Watson, where maelstrom activity is increasing. Our outside help is keeping us in line with them. Miss Kendo, we'll explain everything after this, so just listen for now." Kendo nodded, focusing on the information. Rivers continued, "Another issue is the increase in cyberpsycho attacks. I'm sure you're aware of what that is." Kendo responded, "When one cyberware makes them go crazy, basically." "Correct. Regina Jones, a fixer in Watson, believes there's a way to treat them, but it can't happen if they keep getting killed." "By the cyber hunters meaning you, Johnny," Rivers explained, acknowledging Johnny's role. "Whatever," Johnny replied nonchalantly. Rivers pressed on, "The problems keep building up. We've discovered wraiths increasing their activity here as well, and we have multiple areas set up for intervention." Then, Rivers addressed the main reason for Kendo's presence. Since the breakout at Tartarus prison, a significant number of Yakuza members have set up camp here, believing their leader, Overhaul, is hiding out. We need him alive to gather more information. Johnny urged, "Just get on with it." Teal admonished, "Enough, Johnny." Rivers concluded, "Kendo, Johnny is your new partner. Get used to it." Kendo sensed Johnny's frustration but knew she had to adapt to the situation. With that, the meeting came to an end, and Kendo prepared for the challenges ahead. Kendo headed back out to the lobby, eager to start working. Real had already given her the green light, but she was waiting for Johnny to arrive. Soon, his police car pulled up. Unlike the standard police vehicle, it was a heavily armored javelina, an expensive off-road and sports car. Kendo thought to herself about how costly those cars were and wondered how he could afford one. When the passenger door opened, Johnny instructed her to get in. The authority in his voice made it clear he was not to be trifled with, yet she felt a blush creeping onto her cheeks, which puzzled her. She had come here for a specific reason, and soon he began driving. The one-way windows, made of bulletproof material, only deepened her suspicions about his finances. "We're going to a place called Lizzie's Bar," Johnny said. "I have a friend who can help us." Kendo raised an eyebrow. "I thought outside help wasn't allowed." Johnny shrugged. "You think they care? As long as the job gets done, they don't mind how you do it." Kendo hesitated. "Could you at least tell me who we're going to be talking to?" "A friend, that's all you need to know." "Now be quiet," he replied. "Why do you act like this?" she asked, trying to understand him. "Because I don't know you, and you're a hero." Is there any other explanation I need to give? He shot back, his frustration evident. Kendo frowned. You hate heroes. Why? Could you just be quiet? He snapped. Feeling the tension rise, Kendo looked away. He was her only way to navigate the city, and if what Rivers had said was true, she needed to find a way to work together. I know we're not exactly compatible, but can we at least work as partners professionally? She suggested. Why else would you be stuck with me? I can't believe I need a partner. If you die, it's on me, so don't get yourself killed, he warned, sounding exasperated. I'll try my best. I'll watch your back if you watch mine, she replied earnestly. Whatever, he muttered, and they took an exit off the highway, heading into an underpass. Kendo felt uneasy as they approached a building that looked suspiciously like STRPCLB. If you're wondering, it's STRPCLB, Johnny confirmed, making her even more irritated. Your friend works here. Are you trying to get a lap dance? She asked incredulously. Please, as if I'd waste my money on that when the company can send me a joy toy, he replied dismissively. Kendo was taken aback. What? I'm done with this. We're going in, he said, and they both exited the car. She couldn't believe what she had gotten herself into. Hey, Johnny greeted the bouncer. You came back for another session? The bouncer asked. Strictly business right now. I have babysitting duties, Johnny said, pointing at Kendo. I see. Well, a little hand-on-hand action can calm the nerves, the bouncer suggested. Please, a pro hero can't calm their nerves. I need to see Judy, Johnny insisted. She's in the back, but be careful. All right, the bouncer cautioned. I will, Johnny replied as he entered. Kendo turned to the bouncer. How do you know him? He's a regular here. The only person in this world without any cyberware, the bouncer explained. Kendo was shocked. Cyberware had become more common, and she wondered how he could be without it. He must have a strong quirk, she thought. And to top it off, he's quirkless, but he gets the job done, the bouncer added, causing her concern to grow. Suddenly, Johnny picked her up and threw her over his shoulder. You take forever, he said. Hey, put me down, she protested as the bouncer laughed. Shut up, Johnny replied, taking a left into the back rooms where he encountered the manager. What's going on, Johnny? The manager asked. Just going to talk to Judy, he said. This better not be another joy toy looking for work, the manager warned. I am not a joy toy. Kendo exclaimed. Another one, the manager asked, raising an eyebrow. Yep, Johnny confirmed, continuing through the dressing room where dancers stared at them. Kendo felt embarrassed but knew she had to keep her composure. As they descended the stairs, they reached another door where a woman wearing a BD system sat surrounded by computers. Johnny whistled to get her attention. Hey, look who's here, Judy said, smiling. Johnny dropped Kendo, causing her to squeal. New partner? Judy asked. More like babysitting, Johnny replied. Anyways, what do you need now? Judy inquired. Some intel on the Maelstrom attacks and the BDs they've been producing and selling to the scavs, Johnny explained. Scavs? Why am I not surprised? Judy leaned back in her chair. Mitsuka Kendo, nice to meet you, Kendo introduced herself, bowing slightly. Right, quite the looker this one, Judy noted, observing how Kendo interacted with Johnny. But hey, you can't choose, she added with a smirk. Anyways, we need those records, and could you throw in a facial scan for her? Johnny requested. No problem, Judy said, smiling as she gestured for Kendo to sit down. So, how was your last job? Judy asked Johnny. Getting closer to finding that guy. Brick owes me one, and Meredith is trying to get me in trouble, looking for her mole. Plus, someone is trying to contact me again, Johnny replied. DMN, even after you changed your number? Judy asked. This will be the 9th time, Johnny said, sounding frustrated. They should take the hint. Expecting an answer after a decade. It will always remain, Judy remarked. Kendo listened, curious about their conversation. Judy pulled out a chip and handed it to Johnny. Here you go. Thanks a lot, Judy, he said, preparing to pay her. Don't worry about it. Just get the guy. All right. She replied. I'm not taking no for an answer. This is a Max-tac sergeant ordering you to take the money, Johnny insisted. You and your orders. You're so stubborn, Judy said, finally accepting the payment. Thanks, Judy, Johnny said, gesturing for Kendo to follow him. Hey, new girl, watch him for me. He can be reckless, Judy warned. I will, Kendo promised. Wonder how you're going to help him, Judy said as she returned to her BD session. Kendo asked, so what now? Izuku replied, tell me where you're staying. Kendo teased, well we just met. In case I need you to get out of bed. If you're late, I will come and get you myself, Izuku said firmly. Kendo sighed, geez it's here, showing him an address. Izuku rubbed his forehead in disbelief. You've got to be joking, he said. What? Kendo asked. Get in the car, he instructed, and she complied. They drove back to Watson, arriving at the main apartment building. Izuku parked in the garage. You don't have to walk me there, I can take care of myself, Kendo insisted. Watch, he replied, and they headed up the elevator together. Hey Johnny, could you help me with this? Izuku called out, punching a button on the SCSM, which dispensed a drink. Thanks, he said as he continued onward. Kendo inquired, do you help them a lot? It's my job, Izuku answered. But you do it because it's right, she pressed. Why else would I be a sergeant for Max-tac, he replied. Okay, just saying, Kendo said as they approached her door. Well, this is the place. When do you need me, she asked. I'll call or bang on your wall, Izuku said. What? Kendo responded, surprised, as he walked to the door right next to hers. Good night, he said before entering his apartment. Kendo stood there, trying to process what just happened. Oh great, she muttered to herself as she entered her own apartment. Her luggage was there, it was small but cozy. She lay down, feeling exhausted. Soon, her phone rang. Hello, she answered. It was her friend, Setsuna. Hey girl. Setsuna greeted. Hey, Kendo replied. So how's it in the big city, huh? Setsuna asked. Well, it could be better. It needs a lot of work, and I have a lot to carry right now, Kendo explained. Have you met any cute guys yet? Setsuna inquired. That's all you wanted to ask me? Kendo said, slightly annoyed. What? Nightcity, home of the infamous mercenaries for hire, you're bound to find one that catches your eye, Setsuna teased. Well, I have a partner now, Kendo admitted. Oh. Setsuna responded, intrigued. His name is Johnny, a sergeant in the Max-tac division, Kendo revealed, causing Setsuna to spit out her drink. What? Setsuna exclaimed. Do you know something I don't? Kendo asked. All I can say is be careful. Max-tac isn't exactly the merciful type, they will eliminate anyone who poses a threat. Most of them are really just looking for action, Setsuna warned. Is it that bad? Kendo asked, concerned. Take it from me, just be careful, alright. Setsuna advised. Will do, Kendo said before hanging up. She got up to take a shower but was surprised to find it open to the room. It was her apartment, so she shrugged it off for now. Sighing, she felt the warm water wash over her sore muscles and the reminder of an old injury from school. She pushed those thoughts aside and focused on making dinner. She prepared an XXL super burrito, which looked odd but was surprisingly filling. Afterward, she sat at the computer, searching for information on the Yakuza incident but found nothing. Guess we'll try again tomorrow, she said to herself, flopping back onto her bed and pulling the covers over her. Soon, she fell asleep for the night. Interrogation. Johnny banged on the door, shouting, "Wake up." Startled from her sleep, Kendo fell off her bed and saw him standing in her apartment. He had a habit of showing up unexpectedly, and today was no different. She noticed he was wearing a standard NCPD outfit, a blue jacket and bulletproof vest without his armor or cap. His forest green hair and freckles made him look surprisingly cute, but she had to get him out. With determination, she pushed him out of her room. "Get out!" she exclaimed, covering herself. "Get up!" Johnny insisted, pulling her up. Kendo growled in frustration. "I need to change." Izuku, who had been sitting on her couch, chimed in, "Rule 1, look and make sure you push out your target." Kendo huffed, "Okay, I take it back, you're in butt." "We have 30 minutes to get to our meeting," Izuku said, "so if you want to continue fighting, I suggest you hurry." Reluctantly, she hurried to get ready, slipping into her hero costume just as Johnny tossed her a skin suit. "What is this for?" she asked. "If you want to freeze, I suggest putting that on," he replied, continuing to text on his phone. The suit was colored to match her outfit, showing he had some sense of fashion. "Alright, can we go now?" Kendo asked. "No," he said, stepping closer and removing her mask. "Suits you better. Here in Night City, who you are doesn't matter. Now let's go." She followed him out to the car, and they drove toward a place called Japantown, crossing a bridge along the way. "So, who are we meeting?" Kendo inquired. "I had a job to do a while back for a guy named Fingers. He works on cyberware for Joy Toys. Bit of a BSTRD, but he's a good man, although perverted, he at least restrains himself." Kendo replied, "Kind of like a hero in my school who went by the name of Mineta. He would take every chance to peek at the girls in our class. Anyway, I heard you're quirkless." "Not heard," stated by Rivers. "What are you going to say?" "That I'm weak and worthless. That I don't have a reason to put myself in danger." Izuku shot back. Kendo quickly responded, "What? No. I was going to say it's very impressive and heroic, honestly. Then if more of you existed, things wouldn't have to be like this," he said, abruptly turning right and parking in front of an SCSM. They both got out. "Hey, Johnny," a man greeted. "Hey," Izuku replied. "Here to see Sky again?" "No, business matter." "I see Fingers." "Yeah. He's in right now, so go ahead and head to his place." "Thanks," Izuku said as they continued walking. "You know everyone," Kendo observed. "When you want to do good in this place, you tend to build a reputation," he explained. "I see, so people look up to you. Mainly kids, but a lot of people here know I mean business. No pushover. Quirkless or not, I will take action. If I have to. Even when dealing with cyberware. I mean, you don't have any, and you still manage to take them down. Another rule here, know who your enemy is before engaging." "Right," Kendo acknowledged. Despite his attitude, he had good advice. Soon, they spotted a child crying, and Kendo instinctively approached. "Hey, what's wrong?" she asked. "I lost my mommy." The child replied. "Well, I'm sure we'll find her." "Come on," Kendo reassured. Izuku approached, shaking his head. "Seriously? Why can't you just ask? Or do I have to arrest you again?" The child smirked and transformed back into an adult. "You know what? You can go away, Johnny," the adult said. "Do it again, and I will detain you," Izuku warned as they continued on. "I can't believe this," Kendo said. "You're not the only one. Having the ability to change age is an annoyance. I know what everyone does to hustle, so don't blame yourself for anything, Izuku replied as they headed down the elevator. They soon saw a neon sign reading, "Fingers." 3 men blocked the entrance. "Hey, no entry without a little compensation. How about your girl here? We'll give her a good time." Kendo shouted, "Get lost." "Oh, and she has a mouth. Definitely good for shoving things in it," one of the men taunted. Izuku took off his shades. "Now look here, gentlemen. You can give us the break we want, or you can end up in a morgue." "Is that a threat? What's a cop like you going to do?" one of them sneered. Izuku revealed his Max-tac issued badge, causing the men to pale. No problem. Sorry about that, sir. We're going to be on our way then," they stammered, quickly retreating. "Good," Izuku said as they started running. "It's never peaceful at all," Kendo remarked. "Welcome to Night City," Izuku replied as they entered the building. Inside, they saw multiple people sleeping on couches or mumbling incoherently. They headed up the staircase and witnessed a woman being slapped. "You know what you owe me. This whole cyberware glitch you're dealing with doesn't concern me." "Get me that money," a man demanded. Izuku asked, "How much does she owe you?" "None of your business," the man snapped. "Hit her again, and I will use force," Izuku warned. "You know you can't touch me. Came here with a girl of your own. Please, she would rather be with me." Kendo retorted, "I'd rather die." "Wow, she also has insults," the man sneered. In a swift motion, Izuku grabbed the man's head and slammed it into the metal railing, knocking him out. He then handed the woman some money. "What?" she asked, confused. "Your mouth guard and optimizer need proper calibration, or else it'll start pinching your nerves every time you eat or drink. Go to Victor Vector, he'll take care of it for you." "Isn't he expensive?" she questioned. "Tell him Johnny sent me. If he has to call, tell him to call," Izuku instructed. Thank you," she said gratefully. "It's my job, ma'am." "Stay safe out there," he replied as she left. He then put HNDCFFS on the unconscious man. "You really can solve a situation," Kendo remarked. "They don't teach you that in hero school," Izuku fired back, unable to continue the conversation. Soon, they entered the waiting room, and Izuku knocked on the door. "I'm busy. Let me finish up," came a voice from inside. "I'll finish it for you if you don't get out of this room." Izuku replied, ripping the door open, much to Kendo's surprise. "Hey, wait!" Kendo exclaimed, shocked along with the others at the scene. "God damn it, Johnny, what do you want? Can't you see I'm making some replacements here?" the voice, now identified as Fingers, complained. 5-degree angle for that wire, you idiot," Izuku retorted. I know you're such a nag," Fingers replied. "I need your assistance," Izuku said firmly. "You know I cannot disclose any information regarding my patients," Fingers responded, clearly annoyed. Kendo frowned, recalling how she had seen him act unprofessionally during a surgery. "Sorry about that now, Johnny, I know you want the components, but I haven't gotten any in yet." Fingers continued. In an unexpected move, Izuku approached the patient and quickly finished the job for him. "You're going to feel some pain for the next 2 days. Lay down and don't eat anything. I suggest smoothies or vitamins for now. Otherwise, you're free to go," he instructed. As the patient prepared to pay, Izuku added, "It's a free treatment. Go on." Fingers sighed, "I have to pay rent," and he handed Izuku a stack of money. "There. Now let's talk," Izuku said, and Fingers sighed again. "Could you tell my patients to wait a bit, please?" Fingers asked Kendo. "Why me?" she replied. "Just do it," Izuku urged, and they moved into the next room, Kendo groaning in annoyance. "So what happened now? A new partner? Babysitting Battle Fist the Pro Hero?" Fingers asked. "Yes and yes. Now I need some info, not on a patient, but regarding who your supplier is, Izuku explained. Whoa, hold on. I know you're doing good for the city. Hell, I think you're the best thing this place has right now, but I don't want Maelstrom knocking on my door, Fingers warned. It's confidential. Plus, they make a lot of mistakes, it's easy to hide the leak. Who supplied you the components? Izuku pressed. A man named Brick. He was an okay leader until the whole Brick versus Royce thing happened. Now he won't send them to me. I have to resort to trying to pick off any defective cyberware, and I try my best, but it's hard, Fingers explained. I've heard of Royce. He's going to one of their hideouts in Watson somewhere. NCPD won't help unless they have a lead. Max-tac sent me to finish the job for them, Izuku said. Of course, well, I won't say that from a certain person who is not Fingers. There was a meet-up with Maelstrom and some third party at the old factory where they used to sell meat. Maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow at what you call 10 a.m. Fingers shrugged. Izuku smirked. I see. Received an anonymous tip. Have a good day, sir, he said, getting up to leave. Okay, what's the deal? Kendo asked. We're going to a meat factory, Izuku replied. A meat factory? Kendo echoed, still confused. It's a hideout for Maelstrom, Izuku clarified. Maelstrom is a gang that's pretty ruthless in this area. They set the bar low for torture, while the scavs are the champions of that. Anyway, we're going to try and talk to their leader, Royce. Where Brick is, I don't know, but right now we have to settle this small debate. Fingers and other ripperdocs had their shipments stolen. We're going to give it back. How is this going to help us find Overhaul? Kendo questioned. With time. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. We start slow. Unlike the hero agencies, we don't rush in like a bunch of amateurs going after a celebrity with bodyguards. It has to be taken as a fragile situation. What did that school even teach you? Izuku challenged. Kendo stammered. Here at Max-tac, there are many reasons heroes and other agencies hate us. We work to protect the people, to improve and show order, and to get our hands dirty when needed. Heroes have that restriction, we don't, Izuku explained. I honestly don't know myself, Kendo admitted, recalling a time when Max-tac was called to Hosu City to help secure Nomos. It was scary to see the mechs and soldiers take them down effectively, making fools of the heroes, especially after the USJ incident that set everyone off. We're here, Izuku announced as they stopped at the meat factory. Seems our third party is here, he observed, noticing a motorcycle and car parked in front. He parked the car at the gate and turned it off, pulling out a terminal to look into it. Have you ever used one of these before? He asked Kendo, who shook her head. It's pretty simple. You need to link up to it with your cable and hack into the front doors. That way, you'll shut off their security, and I'll secure Royce. I need to know where Brick is, he instructed. Okay, so after that? Kendo asked. Go and tag those vehicles. I have a feeling they're going to be trouble, Izuku replied. Alright, she said, jacking into the terminal and encountering a hacking interface. Those numbers you see in the corner are the sequence you need to order it in. They will highlight the codes you can enter. You got it. Izuku explained. Kendo responded, confused. Pick the number that's the same, then the next, and the next until it's done. Simple, Izuku encouraged. Right, Kendo said, focusing on the number sequence. She pressed D3, then RR, and finally, got it, she announced. Now connect to the main room where the meeting is happening, Izuku instructed. As she scanned through, she saw Maelstrom going through various items and a cache they were trying to unload. Then she spotted a meat locker with multiple bodies hanging upside down, and others being held by the arms. Suddenly, Royce appeared on the screen. Brick ain't here. If you want to take it up with someone, it's with me, he shouted, pointing a gun at a woman, while another man was also held at gunpoint. A case sat on the table in front of them. Look, we can't settle this. If we have to pay again, we'll do it, the woman said. Ha ha, see how quick that was. Hand it over. Royce demanded. In a sudden move, the woman sprang up and knocked him out, along with the other man. She shouted, throwing a weapon at her. Oh no. Kendo exclaimed. I heard shots. What's going on? Izuku called out. They knocked out Royce. Kendo replied. Forget it. Call in my unit. Izuku ordered, but before she could, a gun was pointed at her. Put your hands up, the assailant commanded, and she complied. Izuku ran through the factory, trying to evade the Maelstrom members who were hunting down a third party. In the chaos, he managed to knock out Royce, knowing he needed to capture him rather than harm him. He pulled out his shotgun, leaned against a corner, and took a cautious peek around. To his surprise, he spotted automated turrets. Threat detected, the turrets announced as they opened fire. DMN, Izuku muttered, quickly tossing an EMP grenade to disable their circuitry. As the turrets fell silent, more Maelstrom members appeared. SHT, it's Johnny, one shouted, and Izuku smiled as he fired at the member, taking him down. Attention, this is Unit, I need a squad sent here for cleanup, he reported. Roger that, Unit ETA will be 5 minutes, came the response. That was all he needed. Alright, you guys, break time's over, he declared, jumping out from his hiding spot and firing his shotgun. Some of the Maelstrom members had smart weapons, but he activated his disruptor, ensuring the bullets would target his armor instead of his head. He pumped the shotgun again and fired at another approaching Maelstrom member. With no time to reload, he switched to his pistol and began firing. A tech bullet whizzed past his head. Ashura, he called out, narrowly avoiding another shot from a smart sniper rifle. Reload time of 3 seconds if they have a quick reload slot, he thought, waiting for the right moment. Another shot rang out, and he seized the opportunity to fire back, hitting the sniper in the arm. This gave him the chance to move forward. He threw down a smoke grenade and slipped into the cover it provided, knowing the Smart Link module required direct line of sight to lock on. Sliding under a conveyor, he emerged to see the sniper down, but not by his hand. A man wielding 2 pistols had taken care of that. Come on, move it, the man shouted. Izuku recognized them now, one of them was named V, who was running with a strange case. He had no choice but to fire at her foot, hitting her. AHSHT, she cried out. The man looked down just as Izuku leapt high to confront him. Jackie! V shouted, preparing to fire, but Izuku shot her hands, causing her significant pain. DMN, Mano can't just have a day without an incident, can it? Jackie remarked. You two are coming with me, Izuku insisted. No can do, amigo, we're kinda in the middle of a pickup right now, Jackie replied, and Izuku fired again, this time next to him. I'll give you 3 seconds to comply. 1, he counted down. Come on now, Jackie said. 2. Alright, Mano, you asked for it, Jackie said, firing at the floor. The bullet ricocheted and struck his goggles, which absorbed the impact. Izuku pretended to be hit, leaning back against the railing. SHT, you killed a cop, Jackie, V exclaimed. No worries, Chica, they have plenty of them, Jackie replied, just before being kicked. Question, he muttered, finding Izuku back in front of him. Maybe you didn't hear me the first time. Put your weapons down. By order of Max-tac, you are to surrender your weapons and comply, Izuku commanded. SHT, Max-tac, why would they send one guy? Normally it would be, Jackie paled as he realized the truth. God damn it, Jackie, this isn't a normal cop, it's the sergeant of Max-tac, Johnny. V exclaimed. So she did her homework. Now that you know, you must come with me, Izuku said. SHT. We're in the middle of a gig, V protested. And who is your fixer? Izuku asked. You don't want to mess with him, amigo Dexter Deshawn, Jackie warned. Deshawn, of course, it's that fat BSTRD. More maelstrom are coming. We best head out, Izuku said, speaking into his earpiece. Kendo, do you read me? Over, he called, picking up V. SHT, V replied. Kendo, do you read? Izuku pressed, sensing something was off and needing to head back. Over here, Jackie said, leading the way past the bodies. Sheesh, you did all this? Jackie asked, glancing at the scene. Izuku remained silent. Trying to make conversation, Jackie continued. Head over to the terminal here, Izuku instructed. Hey, someone cried out. Help, came a voice from a nearby room, revealing multiple bombs strapped to a figure. Well, if it isn't Brick, Izuku remarked. Hey Johnny, why am I not surprised you're the one who found me? Brick said. Where's the controls? Izuku asked urgently. Next room over, Brick replied, grabbing the detonator and disarming it. He opened the door and freed himself. Whoa, you don't want him to snitch on us, right? Jackie cautioned. Me and him go back a ways, I guess I owe you a favor, Brick said. Until next time, Brick, Izuku said, nodding as they moved on. Do you know him? V asked, surprised. Have to get my intel somewhere, Izuku replied. Don't mess with him, V, Jackie warned as they reached the exit. The first thing they saw was bright lights and flashes of yellow, with a group of Militech soldiers blocking their path, holding Kendo hostage. Militech, Izuku muttered. Is that? Jackie asked, confused. My call, yeah, V said, but Izuku shot her a glare. She seemed unfazed. Militech, he shouted, just as a large AV appeared overhead. Attention, Militech. This location is secured. Return to your base, a voice boomed. A woman emerged from one of the Militech vehicles, dragging Kendo with her. Is this your new playmate, Johnny? She taunted. My partner, Izuku replied firmly. Ha, I give her a week, and that's being generous, the woman laughed. Are you going to hand her to me or not? Izuku demanded. The woman removed Kendo's HNDCFFS and pushed her toward Johnny, who caught her just in time. You all right? They didn't injure you, he asked, helping her stand. Oh, no they well no, Kendo stammered. Man, talk about head over heels for someone, Jackie teased. I'm Meredith Stout, captain of the 5th Militech Unit, the woman introduced herself. Johnny, sergeant of Max-tac Excelsior 5, Izuku replied. Mitsuka Kendo, pro hero battle fist, Kendo added shyly. Keep an eye on your joy toy, Johnny, next time I won't be so kind, Meredith warned before walking away. Whatever, Izuku muttered, noticing Kendo's light blush from being saved. Say, can we go? Jackie asked. I need to have you come in for questioning and your fixer, Izuku said. SHT, V muttered under her breath. Now then bind them, Izuku ordered, and soldiers stepped forward, placing bags over their heads. Come on, he urged, and Kendo followed. Okay, she replied, and thus began a new chapter in her life as NCPD Max-tac partner to Johnny. Izuku Yagi, the Reaper hero. Izuku confronted V, expressing his disbelief over the situation. So you're telling me that a misunderstanding led Militech to force you into helping them? You even had to take down Royce and Dum Dum, who ambushed a Militech convoy using their equipment for their own gain. Pretty much sums it up, V replied. Izuku continued, I knew a guy named Vincent who helped my squad a lot. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you? None of your business, V shot back defiantly. Izuku stood up and moved closer to her. Kendo watched nervously from the observation room, along with Rivers. What's going to happen? Kendo asked, anxious. Something I hate he does often, Rivers replied, bracing for the worst. You think taking a job from Dexter Deshawn means it's not my business? Lives are at risk for what? A status in this city. Izuku pressed. Don't you dare, V warned. I won't if you comply. What did you need the bot for? Izuku asked. I told you to ask my fixer. Even we're not fully sure about it, V replied. Izuku placed a hand on her shoulder, recalling Vincent's words. Suddenly, he slammed her head onto the table, causing her to gasp in shock. Kendo flinched, ready to intervene, but Teal stopped her. Let him do his thing. As much as we hate it, it's the most effective way of getting information. I cannot allow this to happen. I'm a pro-hero. Move aside, Kendo insisted. Teal sighed and stepped aside as Kendo rushed in. V groaned in pain, feeling the effects of the confrontation. I don't call myself sadistic, but I will resort to force if I have to get what I need to complete my task, Izuku stated firmly. Jesus, dude, V muttered. Now I'm going to ask again. What did you need the flathead for? Izuku pressed. V spat at him. Go away, legend. Izuku wiped his face and smiled. Funny. I wonder how disappointed Vincent would be seeing you disrespect the person who actually cares for people and made a promise to him. What? V exclaimed as Izuku grabbed her by the hair and slammed her down again. Tell me what the flathead is for, one last time, he demanded. Suddenly, Kendo burst in. Enough. She pushed Izuku away. Izuku, frustrated, used a device to turn Kendo around and slam her onto the table. What do you think you're doing? Trying to stop you from hurting anyone else. Kendo shouted, using her skills to break free. Izuku countered her move and flipped her again. Try me. V chuckled at the exchange. I love that meme, still funny. Izuku interrupted, shut up. We're not done yet. Let go. Kendo pleaded. I don't think I will. Putting up with this is normal for me, and I know you'll try to stop me again, Izuku retorted. Kendo, realizing the gravity of the situation, finally relented. Okay, yes, I understand. Izuku released V and stepped back. Get out of here. I don't care anymore. He pushed the door open and exited, leaving chaos behind. Kendo slowly got up, reflecting on Izuku's story about the boy who wanted to be a hero. She remembered how he had once asked All Might if a quirkless person could be a hero, only to be told he couldn't. That moment had shaped her understanding of heroism and the harsh realities of their world. V, now free from her cuffs, remarked, well, that was unexpected. Never knew he could get that angry. Kendo remained silent, contemplating the weight of the conversation. V continued, so you're a hero, huh? Yep, Kendo replied. Well, if you want to be as great as Firedrake, you have a lot to do. Help people, we could use it, V advised. Thanks, Kendo said, surprised by the convict's words. Take care of him, please. Despite being a jackass, he actually cares for people and his soldiers. Make sure he doesn't die, okay? V added before leaving. Rivers entered the room, shaking his head. I can't say that went well. I've never seen him that mad before. Glad to know I'm special, Kendo replied sarcastically. If he's like that, it could mean something. But I need you two to be a team, which is why I assigned you to him. About that story, Rivers started but was interrupted by Teal. I'll explain it to her. You have another case, an important one with the Perales, Teal said. Rivers sighed. I'll be in touch if you need to talk. He left, and Teal sat down across from Kendo. Now that that's over, I warned you about him. That boy he mentioned, do not disclose this information to anyone. Do I have your word? Teal asked. Kendo nodded, curious. That boy survived. He faked his death, knowing they wouldn't look for a quirkless corpse. He ran off into Nightcity. At first, he was innocent and kind, but one event changed him. He became a merc, then a cop, wanting to make the city safer. But in the end, he sought to eliminate evil, joining Max-tac to secure things better. The boy is Johnny, Teal revealed. Kendo's eyes widened as she connected the dots. She understood why Izuku had such a strong attitude toward heroes. Teal added, I have some cases to go over. Head back home and get some rest. We'll have more for you tomorrow. Kendo nodded, leaving the room and changing out of her hero costume. She made a call to Delamain. Hello, Miss Kendo. What can I do for you? Delamain asked. Need a ride home, please, Kendo replied. Of course. A vehicle will arrive in about 5 minutes, Delamain confirmed. Kendo took the elevator to the lobby, gazing out at the city lights and the bustling streets. Is what I'm doing even worth it? She pondered as she exited the building and saw the taxi pull up. Hello, Miss Kendo, Delamain greeted as she got in. Hey, Del, she replied. Shall we go? Delamain asked. Please, Kendo said, and they drove off. She thought about Johnny, wondering what had happened to make him so cold and indifferent to life and death. Delamain interrupted her thoughts. Your heart rate has suddenly increased, Miss Kendo. May I ask what the problem is? Just this city, Del, she admitted. I have a limited way of understanding. Please explain, Delamain requested. This ongoing violence, the deaths, the cruelty, it's horrifying to see even children accustomed to it. How could something like this exist? Kendo expressed. Delamain responded, it is within the contract established long ago that fixers would put up bounties to solve problems, only to make it worse for everyone. The origins remain unknown, but there are people trying their best to resolve it. I see. Then I need to try harder as well, but of course Johnny, Kendo thought, realizing the complexity of his situation. Delamain added, he is a difficult person to understand. Even I couldn't figure out why he became like this. Great, Kendo replied, feeling the weight of her mission ahead. Soon, they arrived at the plaza, and Delamain came to a stop. Kendo expressed her gratitude, saying, thanks again, Delaware. You're honestly better to talk to than anyone I know, because at least I know you wouldn't do anything to harm or kill. Delamain replied, it is quite the honor to hear a human say that. Thank you, Miss Kendo, and do enjoy your day. As she waved goodbye, she noticed the side mirrors moving back and forth, almost like a form of waving. It was cute, and she smiled as she watched it drive off. As she walked on, she spotted a police officer nearby. You hear about Johnny? The officer asked. What did that guy do now? Kendo responded. He attacked the hero or his partner, the officer replied. Kendo sighed, typical of him. Of course, he also let V go, the one person we tried to capture, and he just lets her go like it's nothing. He needs to be put down. He will never be like his father, he will never amount to him in any way. Well, he's trying. Give him a break. You know what happened with Militech, right? The officer countered. Yeah, and what? Are we all supposed to kneel down and accept his behavior? No way. He needs to grow up, or else the city will eat him alive. Having strong traits is always your scapegoat for everything. You're such a hardliner, the officer replied. It's true, like it or not. Then we don't deserve him, Kendo said as she approached the elevator and pressed the button. As it ascended, the TV turned on. The news anchor announced, this newsflash today features our top story. A Maelstrom hideout was raided by none other than our neighbor Johnny. Of course, everything we know about him is still unknown, but he is being targeted more and more. How long will this facade last? When will he break? When he does, we'll be watching. The broadcast ended, leaving Kendo with the impression that they really wanted him to fail. When the elevator doors opened, she exited and headed for her apartment. "Hey, Misty," she called out, noticing a large man nearby. "You're his new partner, huh?" "Come on," he said, introducing himself as Wilson, the best gun dealer in the city. Miss Kendo," she corrected him. "Well, since you're his partner, I reckon he gave you a weapon, right?" Wilson asked. She shook her head. "I don't need one, my fists do the talking," Kendo replied confidently. "Well, that'll get you nowhere unless you're going to fight in duels. Talk to Fred about that if you want, but that's not the point. Here," he said, pulling out a small pistol. A standard-issued Unity 5 with a red dot sight and a compressor to ensure the weapon doesn't jam. "It's on me." She took it, grateful for the ease it would provide. "Don't I need a license?" she asked. "If you're his partner, you don't need one. I'm putting it on his tab, so go on, and stay safe," Wilson said as she left, now with a weapons case in hand. Standing in front of her door, she entered and plopped down on her bed, tired. She turned on the TV, hoping to find something good to watch. "Boring, boring, boring," she sighed, turning it off. Soon, she picked up her phone and noticed a text from her. "Hey Kendo, I know we're not on the best of terms right now, but please come back. We need you here. We miss you. You don't have to put yourself in danger to get away from us. We're sorry for everything we did to you. Just come back for your friends and family who care for you. We don't want to head to your funeral." The message ended, and Kendo felt a surge of frustration. If this wasn't such an expensive phone, she would have crushed it without a second thought. She got up and heard some rumbling from the wall, followed by the sound of bottles crashing. "What the hell?" she muttered, walking over to the wall and pressing her ear against it, but the noise stopped. It seemed to come from Johnny's apartment. Despite her reservations, she went out to check on him, knocking on his door. "Hey Johnny, you alright?" she called out, expecting his usual insult but only receiving silence. She knocked again, louder this time. "Hey, are you okay?" "Shut up," came a shout from another apartment. Frustrated, Kendo tried to pry Johnny's door open, but it wouldn't budge. "DMN it," she muttered, heading back to her room. She opened her window, eyeing the long drop below, and grabbed her broom to knock on his window. "Wake up," she shouted, but again, there was no response. "Alright, you asked for this." She locked her door and approached the wall, punching it out of frustration. It hurt, but she didn't care. She pulled her fist back and delivered a strong blow, finally breaking through. "Johnny, what is going on?" she exclaimed, stopping short when she saw him on the floor by the table. A revolver lay on the table, surrounded by countless bottles and cans of beer. He was passed out, wearing only his pants. His room was a mess, much like hers, but he had a weapons locker filled with various firearms. What troubled her most were the scars covering his body, especially the large black scar over his chest. "Johnny," she called, rushing to him and gently placing his head on her lap, trying to figure out what was wrong. "Johnny, wake up." She lightly slapped his face. He stirred, letting out a soft sound. She sighed in relief, he was just passed out. "Wake up," she nudged him again. "Go away," he mumbled, slurring his words. "DMN it," she said, getting up to fetch a glass of water, which she promptly dumped on him. "What the?" he shouted, aiming his weapon at her. "It's me. It's me," she yelled back. He winced and dropped the gun, turning over. "Another illusion and it has to be her great," he groaned. "I'm not an illusion," Kendo insisted. "That's what all illusions say," he replied, still half asleep. "I'm not one, Johnny. Come on, get up." "No," he muttered. "You're drunk. You need to get off the floor." "And why is there a revolver on your table?" she asked, moving to check the gun. "I wanted to make it interesting," he replied. She frowned, putting the gun down. There's only one bullet in the chamber. I tried out Russian roulette. No big deal, he said dismissively. One more time and it could have fired. You could have died, she exclaimed. Why do you care? He shot back. Because you are my partner, and I've been told to watch you, she said, helping him sit up in a chair. Great, not only do I get a hero as my partner, but she also has to break down my wall and tell me what to do, he grumbled. You could have died, she insisted. He wasn't listening, and she knew she had to help him. She couldn't let him stay like this. She picked him up and dropped him onto his bed, rummaging through his drawer until she found an old shirt with the word shirt on it. Interesting, she said, attempting to put it on him, but he resisted. Get away, he protested, stirring. After several minutes of struggling, she sighed. What could be the last resort? Using my hands won't work. I don't want to make him madder than he is already. I have to try something else. She leaned in close to his ear. Hey Johnny, she whispered. He mumbled something in response. Come on, Johnny, let me dress you, she coaxed, blowing air on his neck. Come on, let me make you comfortable, she continued, but he pushed her away. I may be drunk, but I'm not perverted. So back off, he said firmly. Kendo felt a mix of relief and annoyance at his response. Put on the shirt, she yelled. No, he shouted back. Determined, Kendo jumped on top of him, trying to get the shirt on him. Get off, he yelled. Put it on, she shouted in return. Meanwhile, Wilson was whistling as he made his way to Johnny's apartment. He knocked on the door, calling out, Hey Johnny, I got those components you wanted, but paused when he heard the commotion inside. You idiot, stop. Kendo yelled. Stop trying to put it on me. Johnny shouted back. Wilson chuckled to himself, deciding to wait for Johnny to come out. I've never seen such a chaotic scene before, especially with a hero involved, he mused, heading back down the stairs. After about 10 minutes of fighting and shouting, Kendo finally managed to get the shirt on Izuku, though it only covered him halfway, leaving his stomach exposed. Izuku was looking away, trying to rest, as he was already exhausted from the day and was beginning to sober up. He muttered, Why did you come? Kendo replied, I want to know why you tried to harm yourself. Izuku sighed, Live here as long as I have, and you'll understand. But know that Night City is only part of it. Kendo pressed on, What happened to you to become like this? Izuku fell silent, prompting Kendo to continue, I know you're that boy who was assumed to have drowned long ago. Old news, he said. I had my reasons. You wanted to become a hero, Kendo stated. A dead dream, Izuku replied. Reality assured it. But what about your family? You just left them, Kendo asked. They're not my family, he said coldly. They're dead to me. They did things that made me this way. Really? You were abused? Kendo asked, shocked. Worse. Abandoned, ignored, beaten. I got tired of it being ridiculed all the time. I came here only to see more death, violence, and suffering. I've lost 8 partners in my time as a sergeant, and that's only in 5 years. How are you still sane? Kendo questioned. You saw what happened. Besides, it's not the first time I've faced it. Countless times, and I always manage to get through. But is it really worth it? What about the people who care for you? Kendo pressed. There are none. Judy is only temporary. Vic is just my teacher, along with Misty. They don't care, it's just part of everyday life. Rivers barely knows me, and I was the one trained under him for a while. Then you came along. Well, I don't know what to say, Kendo admitted. Then drop it, Izuku said. No, Kendo insisted. What did you say? He asked, surprised. I won't overlook this, Johnny. You've been going through a lot, and it's a huge weight. I overheard them talking about you, something about your father. Who was he? Izuku pointed to a picture on the wall, and Kendo was stunned to see the legendary hero, Firedrake. You're Firedrake's son, she said in disbelief. "MHM," he replied, taking a drink. Kendo took the bottle from him. "You need to stop. I don't want you dying from poisoning. Please, as if you care. Yeah, you're a hero, it's your job to pity someone. Tell me this, why are you even here? What's your story? I don't save it. You wanted to come here. You wanted to take on the role of my partner. What happened in your hometown that made you come here? There are better places to go than this." "It's none of your business," Kendo said. "You know my past, you might as well tell me yours. Fair trade, they call it." "That's not how things work," she replied. "Yeah, or I could just call up a fixer to find out for me. But I'd rather hear it from you." Kendo took a deep breath. "I was cheated on. I was betrayed by someone close to me, someone I thought loved me, my best friend. She took advantage of my friendship to get to my ex. It felt like I was stabbed in the back. It's hard to move on from that, especially when most of my close friends ignored it. I wanted to come here because if what they say about the death toll is true, then I don't mind becoming a part of it. But I want to save as many as I can at least. Trying to give people a second chance. Pitiful, isn't it?" She began to cry. Izuku sighed. "I can relate in some way. Just because you've had pain doesn't mean I'm going to ridicule you for it. At least you're here, away from that place. I didn't even know things like this could happen in a hero school." "You don't know the half of it," Kendo replied. "I see. Well, since you're here, do whatever you want. I'm tired and we have another debriefing tomorrow regarding your case. And hey," he added, looking at her, "just hang in there. Who knows? Maybe something will turn up for you. Moving past it isn't easy, especially betrayal. Get some rest or do whatever." He turned over and closed his eyes. Kendo was in awe, seeing this side of him, which must be rare. She smiled softly. "Good night, Johnny," she whispered, looking around his room. It was oddly organized for a guy like him, but she was judging too early. She noticed the spilled bottles of beer on the table and a revolver he had tried to use. She couldn't help but wonder what had happened to him for this to occur. Nightcity was one thing, but even he said it was only part of it. She saw pictures on the wall, the first one being of his father out of his hero costume, with a woman whose face was cut out and scribbled over. His mother, perhaps. There was a glimpse of green hair. The one below it was of a man with cyberware on his hand, labeled Vic and the kid's first weapons. There was a small version of Johnny smiling, holding a very odd-looking weapon. The grip was too small for him, and the bullets looked high caliber, suggesting a massive kick. Another picture read, "My darling and I," showing Johnny in his teenage years with a girl who had very light red skin and dull golden yellow eyes. Her matte black hair with indigo blue highlights caught Kendo off guard. She looked appealing. It was clear she was important to him. Then Kendo noticed a small case with a ring, wrapped around which was a strand of hair. "I will always love you, my evening star," it said. Was he supposed to propose to her? Who knew? The last photo was another of him with this person, along with others wearing different gang symbols, one from 6th Street, another from the Valentinos, and the last one she couldn't identify. Dakota, Walker, Pepe, Evelyn, and Johnny, his new family, Kendo thought. Now she remembered that Walker and Dakota were fixers. She didn't know about Pepe, but Rivers was in the background as well. They seemed to be around 18. So her name is Evelyn, she said to herself, just as she heard Izuku groaning. "I failed you, Eve," he whimpered. Kendo wondered if she had died, but she needed to help her partner. "Johnny," she called. Izuku stirred, "Huh? What?" He looked around, confused. "Are you all right?" Kendo asked. "What the heck happened?" he replied, barely getting up, even opening a hidden compartment in the wall to vomit. "Why are you in here? What did you do to the wall?" he exclaimed, noticing the damage. "You were about to harm yourself, so I stopped you," Kendo explained. "Great, now I have to deal with this too. No money in the budget to repair it." "Whatever. Your room is connected to the plumbing through this wall," he said. "What?" Kendo exclaimed, looking into the room to see water flowing from the toilet, covering the area. "Hold on," Izuku said, flipping a switch outside the window and pressing a button to stop the water flow. "I turned it off, so you have nowhere to sleep. Get in my bed," he instructed as he lay down. "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I know what's happening here is reasonable, but you can't just ask me that." Kendo protested. "Either that or sleep on the broken sofa. Either way, I don't bite." "It's just a suggestion," he said, turning away. Kendo felt herself blush. She tried to sleep on the sofa, but he was right, the springs and plastic shards poked into her. She got up, wincing at a cut on her arm after cleaning it. "Ah," she winced, covering it up. She saw Izuku laying next to the wall, room for one more. She tried the floor, but it was uncomfortable. The shower was no better, the sensors almost soaked her. Cold and shivering from the rain and wind, she rummaged through Izuku's drawers, hoping to find something to cover herself with. She found a shirt with a samurai logo and some sweats, realizing they were similar sizes. "It's just one night, right?" she thought, building up the courage to open the covers and lay down. The bed was warm and preheated, making her feel cozy, like sleeping with cats covering her. Kendo sighed in relief, her eyes drooping as she fell asleep. Unbeknownst to her, Izuku adjusted the temperature for her benefit before getting up. Izuku stared at Evelyn, who was sleeping peacefully beside him. Memories flooded his mind, taking him back to a moment they had shared. He recalled a time when he had felt her warmth enveloping him. She had wrapped her arm around him, sensing his shivers. "What's wrong?" she had asked softly. "Nothing, Eve," he replied, trying to brush off his discomfort. "Well, come here. Let me warm you up," she had said, her quirk radiating warmth as he held on to her. "You know you're my evening star, right?" he had told her, a smile creeping onto his face. She had giggled, "And you're my morning wood." "Really?" he had responded, surprised. "You walked right into that cheesy nickname," she teased. "I can change it," he offered, wanting to make her laugh. "Nah, I like it. You're always cold when I see you come home," she had said, her tone playful. "That's training for you," he had explained with a hint of pride. "Well, I don't want you to end up sick. Just sleep here with me. Let my heart lull you to sleep," she had whispered, pulling him closer. He had laid his head on her chest, feeling safe and loved. "I love you," he had confessed. "I know," she had replied, her voice warm and reassuring. As the memory faded, Izuku sighed, reflecting on how similar those moments felt. He shook his head, dismissing the thoughts, and began to get ready for the day, even though it was still early in the morning. Izuku stood in shock as he faced the lifeless body of Mayor Lucius Rhine. "Well, this can't go unnoticed. NC News is already here," he remarked, glancing at the reporters gathering outside. Rivers, his partner, growled in frustration, "God damn it. Here he is," Rivers said, introducing his partner Han. "The coroner says he died from a heart attack during a brain dance." Izuku scoffed, "Really? A brain dance? That sounds dubious." Han shrugged, "If you want to investigate further, be my guest. But that's the official story. We have another case to handle, Rivers. And Johnny, take it easy this time. Don't overwork yourself." "No promises," Johnny replied, heading off to gather some supplies. As he walked through Watson, he passed by the Aura shop and decided to stop in. "Hello, welcome," Misty greeted him, leaning on the counter. "Hey Misty, how's business?" Izuku asked. Well, besides the pizza guy who got lost, you're the only one coming in for a reading, she replied. I need my aura checked. I have a new partner, and she reminds me of someone, he admitted. I see. Go ahead and sit down, I'll see what's up, Misty said, preparing her candles and burners. As Izuku settled into the black leather chair, he sighed, another case to deal with. I'm guessing it's about Mayor Rhine. Misty asked. What gave it away? Izuku replied, his stress evident. I can tell your stress level is high, especially with the news, she noted. Right, he agreed. I heard you got a new partner from an outside source. Battle Fist, Misty continued. Yep, Izuku confirmed. Are you happy? She asked. Having the very thing I've dreamed of for a long time feels surreal, he said, his tone heavy. I can sense a dark aura around you. It's been growing ever since you came here. The more you bottle it up, the worse it will be when it bursts, Misty warned. I appreciate the warning, but I'm trying my best to keep this place safe. There's no point in fixing someone like me, Izuku replied. Maybe, but I also see some positive feelings locked away, Misty said. Do I? He questioned. I don't know who it's for, but you have it, she replied. I don't know, I don't care, he said dismissively. Just close your eyes, Misty instructed. He complied, and she blew dust over him, filling the air with a calming scent. I needed that. Thanks, Misty, he said, handing her cash more than she usually charged. You're overpaying again, she noted. I know, he replied. You already have money problems, she reminded him. Not anymore. Just take it, he insisted. I always feel bad about this, she said. Give part of it to Vic if you're feeling guilty. I owe him for lunch anyway, Izuku suggested. Right, she agreed. See you around, he said, putting on his shades as he left. As he returned to his apartment, he rode the elevator up. Johnny. Wilson waved at him. I'm 5 feet away, you don't need to yell, Izuku replied. Sorry. Don't be in but. Here, Wilson said, handing him a case. It came in. Izuku asked, surprised. You bet. I don't know what you did, but my supplies finally arrived, Wilson said gratefully. Glad to help, Izuku replied. Oh, and you don't mind paying the Unity, right? Wilson asked. Unity? Izuku questioned. Your new partner. I gave her a weapon, fists can only get her so far, Wilson explained. Whatever, just put it with the components, Izuku said, heading into his apartment. Inside, he found Kendo coughing. Why didn't you wake me up? She asked, irritated. Because you're sick, and it's not smart to sleep in the shower, he replied, holding up a mirror to her face. Her cheeks were flushed, and she looked exhausted. He placed a hand on her forehead, causing her to flinch. Yeah, you're not fit to work right now. Stay here and rest. I'll be back with more food after work, he instructed. Take me with you, she pleaded. Out of the question, he said firmly. What's wrong with you? First, you're a JRK, and now you care about my health, she exclaimed. Yep. So shut up and eat, he said, handing her a bowl of soup. She tasted it and cringed. That tastes awful. Well, it's the best I can do right now. You need to stay hydrated and eat something, he replied. He handed her some soy sauce. Pour this in, it will help with the taste. Maybe add some crackers too. Please, just rest, he urged, placing a hand on her shoulder. You're such a pain, she muttered. I know, he said, getting up to leave. She called, stopping him. Thank you. Just looking out for others, he replied. If it's not too much trouble, could you get some purifying water? She asked. If there's some available, sure, he said, and she nodded. He stepped out, closing the door behind him. "Be safe," Kendo called after him. Izuku made a call, requesting a pickup at Watson's location. Moments later, an AV descended, and he hopped on. "Japantown Cloud 9, he instructed, and the vehicle took off. As he scrolled through videos, he spotted a cyber-psycho from last week, humming a tune while taking down a guard before being shot by Rivers. Entering another code, he accessed another camera feed, seeing the same individual heading to Cloud 9. How does a retail worker afford that chrome, he wondered, knowing they didn't keep records of visitors but had workers who could provide information. He reviewed another recording and spotted the same man leaving a room. "Tanner," he said to the unit beside him. "Drop me off at the entrance." Tanner nodded, and soon the AV stopped, allowing Izuku to jump off. He approached the entrance and was greeted by a smiling receptionist. "Hello, sir. How can I help you?" she asked. Izuku presented his badge. "Johnny, Max-tac. I have a warrant to speak with your boss." Her expression changed immediately. "Hold on, please," she said, picking up the phone. He could hear her trying to calm someone down, but then a shout made her flinch. Mr. Woodman is not seeing anyone right now." "Really?" Izuku replied, noticing bruises on her arms. "MDM, are you experiencing physical harm?" "What?" "Oh, I fell," she stammered. "Really?" From a confrontation, he pressed gently. Yeah, she admitted, whimpering. "Alright, it's okay," he reassured her, guiding her away from the counter. "Please, help me." "I will just tell me where Woodman is," he insisted. "He's on the 3rd floor, but you need a VIP card to get in." "I'll find a way," he said with a smile. She pressed a button to open the doors. "They don't allow weapons in the facility," she warned as Izuku secured his gun. "Got it," he replied, entering the building. Immediately, he was met with hostile glares from the tiger claws. No badges allowed here," one warned. "And who says that?" Izuku countered. "Us. You mess with Tiger Claw, and we'll make sure you don't leave alive." "Get lost, Johnny." "I'm here for Sky," he stated. "Who?" they asked, confused. "Sky, you deaf," he shot back. One member sized him up, then ordered him to leave. "Sky is seeing no cop," he said. "You best put that weapon away," Izuku warned, a smirk on his face. "Or what?" the thug challenged. "Otherwise, force is authorized." In a swift motion, Izuku disarmed him, breaking the blade and incapacitating the thug. He quickly dealt with another member trying to draw a weapon, and soon the area was clear. "Clear," he muttered, moving through the booths until he found an open one. Who are you?" a woman asked. "I'm Johnny, Max-tac. I need to know where Woodman is." "Sky, correct." He's up in VIP, in a meeting right now," she replied. "Thank you for your time." He fired his weapon, causing a distraction before rushing in. "There he is," he shouted, sliding into cover and taking out a target. Another thug brandished mantis blades, swinging wildly. "Taste chrome," he yelled, but Izuku dodged effortlessly. Izuku recalled a past conversation about mantis blades, excitedly discussing their design and functionality. He aimed and fired at a weak point, causing the blade to fall off. He quickly dismantled the other weapon, incapacitating the attacker. After a brief struggle, he moved upstairs, encountering more foes. "Well now, that's problematic," he mused, using a body as a shield to take out 2 more enemies. "Too bad you could have made decent badges if you wanted to change," he remarked, entering the back rooms. "Woodman," he called out, and they pointed him toward a door. "Thank you," he said, opening it to find Woodman. "And here he is, thinks he can just waltz in and shoot anyone while I'm running a business." Woodman slammed the table. "I want to know about a man who came here last week," Izuku demanded. "And who cares?" A lot of people come here, Woodman replied dismissively. He worked in a market nearby, wearing chrome too expensive for a retail worker. He came here last week, Izuku pressed. Why do you want to know? Woodman asked, smirking. Izuku remained silent, and Woodman continued, therapy doesn't work. Here, we can make your fantasies come true, but a man like that would have been documented. Sorry, mate. Izuku glanced at the camera room. This your camera room? What else has screens peering through the entire area, dipstick? Woodman shot back. Then I, Sergeant Johnny, will conduct an investigation regarding the possible foul play of Mayor Lucius Rhine. Woodman stood up, challenging him. I dare you to go into that room, he taunted. If you have nothing to hide, why the aggression? Izuku countered. Alright then, you really want to know. The mayor and his dealer told me to keep quiet, promising good stuff for my workers. A man like that would have been documented, but he isn't. Sorry, Woodman smirked. Who provided you the info? Izuku pressed. Go figure. Overhaul, who else? Woodman replied, still smirking. That's all I needed to know. Suddenly, Woodman pulled out a gun. You know what this is. You're not leaving here alive, he threatened. And neither will you, Izuku shot back, firing first and hitting Woodman. Izuku quickly assessed the situation, realizing the injury was not from a quirk but something else entirely. He kept this discovery to himself for now. He approached Woodman's computer, closing the JoyToy interviews and checking emails. He found a lead, a letter warning about keeping the death of Lucius Rhine a secret and detailing those who might know. After taking a picture of the letter, he smashed the computer and exited through another door, finding the receptionist hiding. It's all right. You can come out now, he reassured her. Are they gone? She asked, trembling. Cleared. You're free of his grasp. Here, he said, handing her some money and a card. Take this and head to 6th Street. A man named Walker will help you find work. Thank you, Mr. Johnny, she said gratefully. Just Johnny, ma'am. Have a nice day, he replied, leaving the building. Once outside, he contacted his unit. This is unit, I have a lead. Need an extraction at Clouds in Japantown, front entrance on the 30th floor. Got you loud and clear, John. ETA 2 minutes, came the response. Copy, he said, preparing himself. He took out a small case, swallowing a pill before washing it down with water from a vendor. The AV arrived, and he entered. Where to? Tanner asked. Take me to Rivers. Izuku ordered. He's off duty, sir. Tanner replied. Do I care? Izuku shot back. Copy, Tanner said, flying toward Rivers' residence, a small trailer park just outside of 6th Street territory. Kendo pinched her nose and reluctantly swallowed the last bit of the awful soup Johnny had brought her, coughing as she did so. To distract herself, she turned on the TV in front of her, hoping to find something related to her job. The news anchor announced, Good evening, Nightcity. Today's weekly death toll has reached a staggering 300 deaths in the past week. Of course, this is just another Monday for us, but for those who tried to guess the toll, nice try. Today's top story is the attack at Clouds in Japantown, and the attacker. None other than our good cop, Johnny. The anchor's tone was mocking, making Kendo roll her eyes. Looks like if you had appointments to satisfy your needs, you'll have to wait until new management takes over. But don't worry, disciplinary action is in effect in hopes I will one day announce his demise. This is Night City News, signing off, the anchor concluded. Kendo quickly changed the channel, unimpressed. As she flipped through the channels, she heard a comedian joke about asking his parents if he was adopted, followed by laughter in the background. Kendo sighed, finding the humor unappealing. She continued to change the channel until she stumbled upon a report about a new virus, which made her groan. There really isn't a sensor on this, is there? She muttered to herself, getting up to look around. She examined the photos on the wall, still fresh in her mind, and then glanced into Izuku's weapons locker. It was filled with various firearms and gear. One item caught her eye, a legendary sniper rifle called O5, modified by Firedrake himself to shoot explosive rounds. She wondered if her partner had received it from his father. Leaving the room, she checked the other apartment, noticing the water had soaked through the rug, creating a gross sound as it squished beneath her feet. Just then, her phone rang. "Hello," she answered, groaning as she lay back down. "Kendo. What happened?" "I heard you got sick when I called the NCPD," Setsuna's voice came through. "Something unexpected. What's up with you?" Kendo replied. "Nothing much, just typical scouting. Making sure no one dies. I heard some place got attacked." "Yeah, my partner did that," Kendo admitted. "Yeesh, talk about bloodlust," Setsuna remarked. "I don't think so. He doesn't enjoy it or hesitate like some do. He's just used to it," Kendo explained. "Right, anyway, I have someone who wants to talk to you." "Really?" Kendo asked, intrigued. "Hey girl." Mina's voice chimed in. Kendo smiled. "Ashido. I heard about your partner. Is he hot?" Mina asked with enthusiasm. "That's the first thing you ask." Kendo replied, amused. "Hey, I have to get some juicy info somehow." Mina insisted. "Well, I guess you could say that. Yeah, he is," Kendo admitted. "So, since your apartment is out of commission, are you sleeping in his apartment?" Mina asked, catching Kendo off guard. You could say that, to an extent. But it's only until it gets fixed." "How's everyone else?" Kendo changed the subject. "Oh, Ochako and Ida opened their own agency. Ibra is doing I don't know. Yui and the other members of your class are working as a team now. And remember Shoka Todoroki." Mina continued. "She was in your class, right?" Kendo asked. "Get this, she's getting married." Mina exclaimed. "Really?" Kendo was surprised. "Yeah, I heard she scored some big hotshot. His name is right, Katsumi's brother." Mina revealed. Kendo was taken aback. "What? They're complete opposites. How did that happen?" "I honestly don't get it either, but hey, if she's happy, I'm happy for her. Katsumi has mellowed out a lot over the years. She's one of the nicest people you'll ever talk to now," Mina said. "Can't imagine that," Kendo replied. "Right." Mina echoed. "Well, everyone is still keeping in touch with each other all except for," Setsuna began. "Don't say her name," Kendo interrupted. "Oh yeah, and Hisari," Mina added. Kendo sighed. "No worries. I just don't want to be reminded." Well, Izumi is still on the road to becoming the #1 hero, especially after defeating All for One and Shigaraki. It's sad to know what happened between them. She had a real hatred for both, Setsuna said. "No one will know," Kendo replied, feeling the weight of the conversation. "Oh, and since she made those cyberware, how's yours feeling?" Mina asked. "They feel fine, actually. They're really versatile and effective with my quirk," Kendo answered. "What about your partner?" "I bet he has good ones if he's able to take out a whole gang on his own," Mina continued. "Oh Johnny, here's the shocker. He's quirkless and has no cyberware on him, not even an optimizer or smart link," Kendo revealed. Mina and Setsuna gasped in unison. "What? That's really hot," Setsuna added. "Ugh," Kendo groaned. "Girl, you're lying, right?" Mina pressed. "If I was, I wouldn't even talk about it," Kendo replied. "Damn, he's got some moves if he's able to tango with them," Mina said. "Believe me, I saw him fight. He knows every cyberware's weakness. I saw him rip a turret right off its hinges through security footage, Kendo explained. That's so cool. Like an old-fashioned Clint Eastwood, Mina exclaimed. Who? Kendo asked, confused. You're uncultured, Setsuna teased. Whatever, but overall, it's going okay here, Kendo said. Whatever you say, girl. Say, maybe one day you'll come visit and bring your boyfriend to show him to us, Mina suggested. I highly doubt that. He has a very bitter view on heroes, Kendo replied. Phooey, Mina said. Well, I need to head back to bed. I have to find a leader soon, Kendo stated. Yeah, and let us know if we can help in any way, Mina offered. Remember, you still have friends supporting you all the way, Itsuka, Setsuna added. Thank you both, Kendo said sincerely. Bye Mina said cheerfully. Mwah. Setsuna made a kiss sound before hanging up. Kendo stifled a laugh and looked back at a picture she had picked up. It was Johnny in a formal military-style uniform, labeled as Max-tac Sergeant of Unit Cyberhunter Squad Excalibur, holding an old-looking acoustic guitar. It seemed he had a talent for music as well. Kendo wondered why the name Izuku Midoriya sounded so similar to Izumi's until she heard a clicking sound. Put that down, Izuku said, and she found herself staring at the end of a barrel. Kendo quickly put the photo down and raised her hands in surrender. First, you complain about how I behave, now you're snooping around through my stuff. Izuku exclaimed. I'm sorry I let curiosity get the best of me, Kendo replied, her voice trembling. You're right about that, he said, putting his weapon away. Who am I kidding? Just don't tell anyone my real name. Only a few I trust know who I really am, and you'll regret it if you leak it. I understand, Kendo said, feeling the weight of his words. You better, he warned, handing her a bag. Your meal for tonight. I grabbed it from a friend's place since he was in charge of making stir-fry. I just took the leftovers and made it into a soup for you, so it should taste decent, better than what I gave you earlier. Who was Evelyn? Kendo asked, and he paused. Well, since I never expected anyone to live here besides me, she was my fiancée, he admitted, his tone shifting. Fiancée? Kendo echoed, surprised. Yep. She was the person who kept me from giving up, he said, sorrow creeping into his voice. I'm sorry, Kendo offered, feeling the weight of his pain. You're just curious. I know that feeling. Who were you talking to? Some friends back in Japan, she replied. Do I know any of them? One of them is named Tokage, and the other is Ashido. Alien Queen, I've heard of her. Not a total idiot, but her outfit could use some tweaking, Izuku remarked. You hate women dressed like you know? Kendo asked, raising an eyebrow. SLTS, where's they're all the same. Uravity's outfit is just too revealing. Any tighter, and it would be a disaster. You, at least, hide things well, except for your legs. But then again, it can get hot, he said, his tone more relaxed. The one I really dislike is Creati. Kendo nearly choked on her food. Her outfit practically screams for attention. Anything that requires her to show skin is just asking for trouble. And to top it off, she comes from a rich family, while my friends and I had to work hard to get where we are now, Izuku continued, frustration evident in his voice. I never knew you hated her that much, Kendo said, surprised. Her and her friends can do whatever they want, I don't care, he replied dismissively. Wait, husband? Kendo asked, confused. She's married to Shoto Todoroki through quirk marriage. Ironic, right? Like breeding dogs to create quirks, he said, shaking his head. I understand what you mean. I never saw the appeal in dressing like that. Plus, I get cold too quickly, Kendo said. Exactly, Izuku agreed. But she was perfect. Too perfect, in my opinion, Kendo added. Yep. And then you have people all around the world fawning over her, he said, making Kendo laugh. What? She exclaimed, smiling. You heard me, he replied, chuckling along with her. They soon found themselves in a light-hearted conversation, roasting every hero they could think of. And for Ground Zero, he's all ego, Kendo said. With a quirk like his, I wouldn't want to be around him, Izuku joked, laughing more. Kendo noticed he seemed to have more disdain for Bakugo and Todoroki for some reason. And of course, there was Izumi, Kendo said, and he flinched. Her, he confirmed. Yeah, the one who created all the cyberware for bettering the world, she said. All she did was pervert a creation into something worse. It ended up being weaponized. Anything that could change the body or be a breakthrough in science will be turned into a weapon, not for the benefit of the world, but for selfish reasons. That was the stupidest thing she's ever done, he said, his tone serious. I can see that, Kendo replied, smiling at him. It was a genuine smile, one that lit up her face. You should smile more, she suggested. How so? He asked, curious. It just looks innocent and kind, she said, leaning in slightly. Well, he stuttered, caught off guard. And he stutters, Kendo teased. Miss Kendo, I don't think, just Kendo, she interrupted. It's not wise to get your feelings mixed up, it could lead to something you don't want to be a part of, he warned, and she fell silent. I see. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You're fine. It's not my first time going through this, he assured her. Well, only 4 days, and you're still a mystery to me, I guess, Kendo said. Listen, about this Izumi, you wouldn't happen to know her father, would you? Oh, I think his name is something Yagi, but I know he's All Might, the former symbol of peace, Kendo replied. I see, he said, observing her as she played with her hair. He felt a mix of resentment towards heroes and a strange connection to Kendo, which frustrated him. Well, you're still sick, so you need to rest some more, he said firmly. No, Kendo groaned, but Izuku picked her up gently. I can't do this without you. I hate doing missions alone, he said, setting her down on the bed. Kendo grabbed his arm and pulled him into her side. What are you doing? He exclaimed, surprised. Should just lay here and rest. You need it, she insisted, noticing how he was trying to fight off fatigue. Sigh fine, he relented, giving in. Cough glad to know, she said with a smile. You don't have to worry about me getting sick. I have a high amount of medicine and vaccines I made. It doesn't make me completely immune, but it's enough to protect me from an illness like this, he explained. Any other secrets you're hiding? Kendo asked, curious. No, none that I trust you with yet, he replied. Reasonable, she said, nodding. Well, that's that, I guess, he added. Anyways, I'm trying to be understanding, honestly. But could you at least keep your actions to a minimum, she asked cautiously. I don't know, I can't promise something like that, he said, looking away. I see, she replied softly. But I'll give it a shot, can't hurt, he said, trying to reassure her. Yeah, I was also going to ask you something. How did you know who Izumi's father was? She started, but noticed he had fallen into a deep sleep, completely drained. Maybe next time, she whispered before sneezing and turning the other way, feeling tired herself. Soon, she drifted off to sleep as well. V greeted Jackie, hey Jackie. Jackie responded, hey Chica, what's the deal here? V replied, I have another message from Dex. He wants us to meet him at the afterlife. Jackie grinned, this is it, V. The road to the big leagues. I can see all the eddies already, people talking about the Diablos duet. V sighed, would you stop with that nickname? Jackie chuckled, you're no fun. Soon, they noticed an announcement. V remarked, guess he finally died. Jackie nodded, seems like it. Too bad, he was actually trying his best. But dying from a BD giving a heart attack is pretty embarrassing. V agreed, true, he's going to be a joke for a while. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed. Jackie exclaimed, freaking thing doesn't work as always, as he punched the buttons. They soon saw an AV fly away. Jackie wondered, I wonder what that was about. Wilson approached, calling out, hey Jack. V asked, what's up, Wilson? Wilson replied, oh, nothing much, just finally got my supplies in. Can't be happier than that. Jackie inquired, nice. Did you find out what happened? Wilson explained, oh, some Maelstrom guys ambushed a bunch of convoys, but our local cop put a stop to it, so us vendors can continue now. V acknowledged, I see. Jackie declared, well then, let the next bullet be on me. V raised an eyebrow, really a bullet? Jackie shrugged, who knows? It could come in handy one day. Wilson handed them something, saying, here you go, well, hope you guys have a good one. Remember where you get your ammunition from. V replied, we know. Jackie suggested, well, time to meet up with Dex, shall we? V agreed, let's go then.